it can't imagine that that's a fact, that it's a non-doer right now, before any time. Listen, in your own life, how could you ever forgive yourself premised on that you're the doer? Where's there gonna, it could only be conditional forgiveness, yes? You would forgive yourself for maybe a few things you did, but certain things there would be no forgiveness, yeah? This is my way out of forgetting the key today. So, of course, there was no Paul who forgot the key. Yeah. We don't even have any chairs. Well, okay, so again, anyone new here? Oh, nice to meet you. Samna?
Summer.
Nice to meet you.
Nice to meet you.
Yeah.
Thanks for having me.
Yeah, we usually have a big temple behind us with a lot of pictures of dead saints, but we're going naked. We're going naked today. Yeah. Oh, yeah. Well, welcome. Have you heard? You've heard of non-duality, yes? Yeah.
I have.
To take where we're presenting isn't really about the topic of non-duality. It's what the topic of non-duality directs us to do, which is see what we're not, yes?
Mm-hmm.
So there's no point of dwelling on non-duality because you are that. You are the absence of things and everything else like that. But therefore, that interest and attention is directed on what we're not, yeah? Because obviously, being ourselves reality, we sure don't seem to think so, yes? So there's an activity that must be blocking out or distracting or obscuring the fact that we are what we're looking for. Or we wouldn't be looking for it, yes? Yeah, so obviously, the statements of non-duality bring out the misassumptions that we're living from. We're trying to arrive at where we already are, yeah? So why would we want to keep describing the arrival place? Let's talk about where you think you're leaving from, yeah? Maybe you're already where you want to arrive at. That's the assumption. So non-duality is not two. So what is two? Duality. What's two shrunk down to where I'm sitting? Dualism, yeah? The sense of subjectiveness, but attributed to an object, yeah? So the subjectiveness of the seeing, the hearing, the feeling, the tasting, and the touching, and then the mental state claims that, and then you're pictured as this, as the seer, the hearer, the feeler, the taster, the toucher, yes? So you can see something happened. There was an acknowledgement of the subjectiveness, but it's attributed to the object. That's non-duality. That's what non-duality is looking at. Yeah, we're not looking at, on the end of the rainbow, it's going to be, unbelievable. We're looking at what wants to arrive at the end of the rainbow, because that isn't you, because you are what you're looking for. Yes? So any talking about looking for something or arriving or getting mustn't be coming from what you are, which is you are what you're looking for. Yeah? If you are is what you're looking for was talking, it wouldn't be saying much. It would be saying like turn left or turn right. It would be saying what was appropriate in the moment. It wouldn't be spending constant a lot of time thinking about something that's already so, yes? Yeah or no? Obviously, this is the dilemma of hearing a message of non-duality when all you hear is a description of the indescribable, yeah? Trying to understand the incomprehensible. It makes no sense. So what can be described? What we're not. The activity that implies Paul as the subject while pictured as an object is a mental activity. You can see it. Not from the mental activity, you can see the mental activity. Yeah? Hey, sorry, honey. Hope you took care of your business and you can sit here. All right. We have some she-wees and some he-wees in the car. So yeah. So the whole understanding with this is you can't understand what you are. Yeah? That's the understanding. What you get here is you're not going to get it. Yeah? The awakening you're going to have is a rude awakening, which is the futility of you trying to wake up. Yeah? This is what happens. So, and how long does that take? No time at all. Yeah? As soon as you recognize what you're not, you'll see the futility of using what you're not, AKA as what you are, to find what you are. You'll see it, yeah? And it can, maybe you see it and then there seems to be a forgetfulness, so you come back to satsang. But there'll be a point where you see it and you may still come back to satsang, but you're not coming back to satsang to see it, yeah? You're seeing it, yeah? Now satsang is just a nice reminder, it's a pleasant thing to do, but you're not using satsang to remember the seeing because you now have a sense of being that seeing, yeah? You see the movement of remembering it is implying something that's not true. That you could be forgotten, yeah? The you that you are. That's what it reinforces. The remembering isn't about remembering, it's about reinforcing that you can forget, yeah? And you cannot forget what you are as what you are. You can seemingly be the appearance of forgetting as what you're not, yeah? Because basically that's the role the action figure plays. It plays the appearance of what you're not. So this is how it validates all its insane, shitty, crazy ideas. It just says, well, who did you see in the mirror today? You know what I mean? You know, you. So the body, if you had maybe a longer period than 5 seconds or so outside the body, you realized how influential in the interpretation the body is. You would, yeah? If you were relieved of the body, yeah, and yet you still had to remember the memory of the body, you would see how influential this body idea is, yeah? And now the body idea wants to get out of the effects of the body idea as the body idea. Don't you see it? It's completely futile, yeah? It is. It doesn't matter if it cost you $50,000, it's futile, or you read a book, it's futile. That's what non-duality leads you. It leads you to the futility of waiting around and hoping you're going to get it, because you're not, yeah? Why? Because you are it. That's the assumption. If the assumption is not that isn't non-duality. It's another topic, really. In this topic, being ourselves reality is the assumption. Yes? It's not, the assumption is you can become what you are. You weren't once what you are, but you really screwed up. So if you work hard, you can erase all that screwed up. And once again, in another way of becoming what you are, but they're really never starting at the point you are what you're looking for, are they? Because they're selling glasses, they're selling, telescopes, they're selling things to sort of increase the quality of your looking, because obviously you seem only to see things when you're looking. So we're going to try to make it a more subtle looking so we can see no thing. Yes, it doesn't work, does it? I mean, what point, while identified as a thing, is the clarity that you think you have as the thing going to bring about a clarity of not being the thing? Yes? When? Yeah. I've met a lot of things who are incredibly clear about a lot of shit, but they may not be clear that they're not a thing. Yeah. So what's the point of all that clarity? If all the clarity is being used to reinforce I'm a very clear thing. Yeah. Oh, I like the clarity, but the thing, is a little bit, something's going on there because a thing only has a limited ability to be clear. Because it's as a horse can have as clear a much view, but it has blinders on the side. So this can be incredibly clear, but it doesn't have a panoramic view because it's programmed or it has something has been fixed on it. So it can clearly see the oats from here, but it can't see everything else going on. Yeah. And it's thinking, I got to get those oats. So it's very clear. I got to let more people in. Amid them all. Yeah. So this is okay. Am I the one who has these blinders or am I the one who doesn't have the blinders? You're neither. Yeah. That's the great news. So when the blinders are there, you're not that which has the blinders. When the blinders are removed, you're not that which has been freed from the blinders. Yeah. Because the identification with the one who has or hasn't the blinders are the blinders you don't see. Yes. You don't see those blinders. You don't see the act of identification. You see things, but you don't see, there's always an assumption it's you that's seeing the things. Yes? And we're questioning that you assumption. We're not questioning how clear you saw something or how unclear you've seen something. We're just asking who is the seer of it. Yeah? And I know you're excited about your trip to LA, and I hate to break the news to you, you're in LA. Oh, I was looking outside going, Omaha sucks. Well, does that mean LA sucks? Well, I hate to break the news to you. You've been looking at LA. So you mean it's going to look just like it does now? Yeah, in May. Oh, fuck it. I'd rather go for the, yeah, see, this is the dilemma. The head's interested in things. The head is interested in becoming things and interested in, I was once something, but then I lost it. But it's not interested in being. It feels like it's already accomplished that. It's being you, but it isn't. That's the point, yes? It is in us. Now you can believe it or not, but if you're firm in faith in what you believe, why, it's not going to hurt you to hear something else, yes? It isn't. So maybe, just maybe, you hear about that party and everyone says it's great, and every time you arrive, it sucks. You don't see it. You don't see that, man, for some reason, I find myself at a lot of fires. Well, maybe you're playing the role of a fire starter. Why would it be that harmful to make a step back and maybe see where you're looking from instead of trying to refine that place where you're looking from? Because maybe you can't refine it to the degree you need to see what's going on because you are that which you're looking for. Yeah? So you can have the Hubble space, telescope glasses. You're still not going to see what you are because you're it. Yeah. Now you can have the great joy of seeing everything else as what you are, even though it's appearing different things, degrees, sizes, and there's a recognition that all is that. You can have that, but you're not going to see what you are because you're that. Oh, wait a minute. Yeah. So this is how it happened with me. I walked into not satsang like I walked into every other meeting. And then one satsang I walked out, and I didn't walk out like I walked out of every other meeting. Yeah. It just, something happened. I heard something collapsed. I think it was with the guy who shared, I'm like a man standing by the river selling water. That was a pretty good impact because And then I heard him start laughing, and it sounded different than the other times I heard him laughing. And he says, it's even funnier that I'm standing in the river selling water. I got up and left, and I never went back to that river because I've never left the river. You missed a great bit of river this week. I don't think so. Why is that? You weren't there. I didn't see you. Did you get the video? No. I am the river. As soon as the sound of the river's turned on, I recognize myself immediately. I don't have to have 20 hours of chanting, I'm the river, or listening to 800 hours of talks. As soon as I hear, oh, I'm the river. Yes, yes. That one little gurgle, there you go. Yeah? Yeah, so we're gonna have to keep it short because I can watch the pressure of the bowels on everyone and see if they're ready to break. I hope you heard this, yeah? Can you hear it? Judith? Yeah. I don't want to be like an insane person on the street because I'm about that far from it right now. It's only one. If I lost my car, that would be it, probably. I'd be walking with a sign, I'll talk for food. Yeah, jeez. Don't let it come to that. All right, you want to ask any questions? I can't. Why don't you come and help me? Oh, I can see them sometimes. Anyone have a question? Mike's going to assist me.
They'll show up here.
Oh, they will.
Yeah.
Don't get too close, bro.
I'm
in the master zone.
As far away as I can get.
I'm in the master zone.
I can lean.
Anyone have any questions today? Judith, nice to see you. Nice to see you, yes. Of course, this is probably, well, whatever. Hello, everyone. Did we let Chris Gilmore in? I hope so.
At 1:30.
At 1:30. All right. Well, let's say hello. There's Catherine. Catherine up there. Nice to see you, Catherine. Wait a minute. Admit.
That's good.
I'm letting them in.
You should have did that for me.
And if this is your first time, it's always like this. So.
Hi, Paul. I
I heard
just want to. Do you hear me?
Yeah. I can't hear that. I can't hear anyone. No, it's just. Yeah, I can't hear it. Can someone talk, all right?
Hi.
Paul. Hello.
Yes, a little
Hi, Paul,
louder.
this is Jim.
Jim?
Yes. How are you?
Good.
First of all, thank you for the sessions, and thanks to Mike for putting them on YouTube regularly. Although I couldn't attend online, I can watch it offline.
Here's Mike
so-
here.
Hey, Jim.
Hi, Mike. So one question I have, Paul, is in the last meeting, Satish had a question.
Yes.
And you you cited a parable about the big boss going to the union office and hiring people.
Yeah.
Right. And when explaining that, you said, does time really matter? And it's kind of a long line. Let me read what you said. You said, does doing in time make it incredibly real that it has to be undone through time? Or can that which was done in time can be undone from timelessness?
Yes, for sure.
So can you elaborate on that? You know, I think you mentioned this quite a few times about time. Does time really matter?
Quite catch that.
Whoa.
Could you please repeat it?
That was his phone. We heard you. We heard you.
They wanna
The
hear
phone
it
is
too.
reacting. Technology's firing all around us. Yes. Okay. The sense of being a doer is of time. Yeah.
Mhm.
So basically, before mind kicks in, there's just doing, hearing, feeling, tasting, touching. And then because the sense of you as the doer or hearer takes time, it has to be manufactured. Yeah. In other words, the seer doesn't arise at the same moment of the seeing. There's the seeing, and then there's a little bit of time elapses, and then there's the interpretation of the as the seer. Yes.
Mhm.
So the feeling of being the doer is produced in time. And so let's say if you over time have been feeling not only momentarily as the doer, but as a historical doer, the mental logic's view of that is there would have to be a lot of doing and a lot of time to undo what was done in time. Yeah, that's the logic of the head. Yeah, if it's rooted in the idea of the doer and it finds that it's been a doer for many, many years, and now it has to somehow become a non-doer, it can't imagine that that's a fact, that it's a non-doer right now, before any time. Yeah, it believes it's going to have to do itself out of all the doing itself into. There's a lot of faith in time, you see.
Mhm.
Yeah.
Yeah.
So I had this guy, there was a Course in Miracles group I was involved with on the periphery, and they were having a big thing in Wisconsin, and I went there. And one of the days I was in this motel, I had to hitchhike to the place, and the master picked me up, and the master looked at me and he says, "Do you want to be healed?" And it was like, I said, before I even could say anything, he says, "And it's so." And so there was no belief of that because I believed it would take time to get healed. Now he didn't have that belief, so he was basically stating a fact. You're already healed. Yeah. Now it went over my head because I was addicted to the idea that it took time to get unwell. It's going to take time to get well. Yeah. Yes.
Yes.
This is what the dilemma is when people look at non-duality from another view. They think non-duality, maybe I can see it as the head could use it as a way of spiritual bypassing shit that may be needed to be done, but they believe it's a complete spiritual bypass because they're thinking these people aren't going through this process of having a lot of shit that was done to be undone. Yeah, exactly. That's the good news, in a sense. Yeah.
Yeah.
So you see,
Yeah. Yeah.
the sense of doer is of time. The more time that you feel like you're the doer, the more time it will seem that will be needed to get to be the undoer. Yeah. You see the trap of it. Either way you go. Yeah.
Yeah. Yeah.
It looks like there's going to have to be a lot of doing to arrive at the undoer. So, like Jesus said, you can't have two masters at the same time. One master, let's say, is time, and the other master is no time. If you want to keep requiring no time to appear in time, to come about through time, to be something that's not ever presently available, but will be available in time if certain requirements are necessary. This is the application of the mental logic on the invitation. Yeah?
Mhm. That's good, Paul. Thank you.
Yeah.
Thank you.
Can I add? So I think that relates to how you.
You didn't raise your hand.
When you say that just don't die or act out,
Yeah.
right?
Yeah.
Because that doesn't leave the action figure with much, but that is a little something.
Yeah, you got to throw bones.
Yeah. And so,
Okay.
I mean, so basically, kind of do what feels, or you can say God's will is for right now or today. Getting back to one day at a time.
Yeah.
And that you will feel like doing something. I mean, not that the action figure will agree with that, like, oh, I don't want to do anything, I just want to lay around. But, you know.
Yes.
So, yeah.
Let's
That's
say,
the positive side of just don't act out and.
yes,
don't-
let's say you have faith in you, not you, but there's faith in the mental logic. The mental logic calcifies, gets arthritic, yeah, because it doesn't leave any room for other possibilities, yeah? So the longer it has an effect, the more rigid and calcification occurs. Now, relying on that which is not the mental logic doesn't go that way. You get a little taste, and then there's an imagining of the whole pie, yeah? It doesn't say, no, there's just a little taste, and you got to build on a little taste. No, one little taste can set off an imagining of the whole pie, yeah? Which completely invalidates the idea of the one little taste. So the system itself invalidates the mistakes that are in it when you and I enter it, yeah? Where the other one calcifies and fucking gets to be right, and then it goes, as you can see with spiritual groups, it goes into dogma, and then in us and them, and then it's like fucking cultville, so to speak, yeah? Yeah, so this isn't the way, let's say, the flexible mind does things. The flexible mind gets a taste and goes, imagines the whole flavors, all, you know? It doesn't, so, no, and that's not like a soup Nazi, one taste, come back on Thursday, show me you did 800 push-ups, you'll get another taste. That's how the logic of the head works, yeah. But this there's a revealing and then leaping. You leap into an understanding, or through one actually, and you leap into being convinced, which is really, it's like putting a lead weight on that, it's like putting a lead weight on the momentum of time. You get more and more into a pause, even though time is happening, seemingly, you're not like swimming with the current. You're like, yeah, and a lot gets revealed there. So yes.
Thank you.
Yeah. Oh yeah, remember we used to go to the talks, they'd have people come up. All right, that's where we are. Come up and sit with Daddy. And then slip a little note, hey, I'd like to see you later. Check out this lovely gas, gaze. All right, anyone else? I'm gonna have to, my hearing isn't that good, so we're like this. Don't give me a UK accent right now. If anyone is from Scotland, please refrain from asking a question right today. Come back Tuesday.
Hi, Paul.
Hey.
Hey, it's Deborah.
Oh, Deborah.
Yeah, I don't have a question, but I just wanted to express my delight at being here. It's just always so much fun and light, and I just love it. I love you.
Thank you. That was very nice. Thank you. We're doing our best.
Hey, Paul, can you hear me?
Yes.
I'm from Ireland. It's even worse than being Scottish, I guess, is it?
But I have some Irish blood in me, so it allows me to understand.
Maybe you can understand.
Yeah,
Thanks. You were talking about time. I was thinking about, so if a thought comes, I can see it coming and it happens in time, or I can feel something as a result. I can see that happening in time. But if I have a feeling like fear or shame or something that seems to be there all the time, including now, and then I'm saying to myself, I must be identifying with that. I must stop identifying. I must become uninterested. Oh no, I'm not supposed to be because I'll be interested if I try not to be interested. And I'm going, what do I do? And I know I'm not supposed to do anything, but I feel identified with the fear. So I'm like, oh no, I'm not supposed to do anything.
If you feel identified as the fear, distract yourself with something. Yeah? Okay. I always recommend Bloodline on Netflix. I haven't, it's getting old, but there's other ones. If you like a little horror, I like Marianne. That was excellent. Netflix pulled it after one season, but it's still available. Or service to others. Just distract your head, because you wouldn't know there was fear unless it's dwelt on. Yeah. Something
Yeah.
brings it to it. Something brings it into attention, doesn't it?
Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah, that's true. If I focus on it,
Yeah, like I had, let's say I had a pimple on the forehead. I had no idea I had a pimple on the forehead. Other people saw it maybe. Then I finally touch it, and then, oh, Jesus, I had a pimple on my forehead, but it'd been there for days. So basically, you're sort of walking around, and unless something directs the attention, yeah, just like when it was very obvious with the talks, but there's a better story to get it across. This man I used to work with in recovery, great man, he's passed away. He had an explosion in his garage, and he had 70% of his whole body burnt, yeah? Really, really bad. And he was in the hospital in a huge amount of pain, and then feeling sorry for himself. And then the nurse came in and said, hey, there's someone in the hall that is an alcoholic. I think he would like to talk to you. And then my friend, this man, Sai, said to himself, what the fuck, don't I understand? Leave me alone, I'm in so much pain. But the allegiance with recovery said, all right, bring him in. And then they talked for a couple hours. And when the guy left, Sai realized he hadn't felt the pain in those 3 hours. So he got the nurse and he says, get me every freaking alcoholic you can find and bring me in. Because he got out of himself, AKA the fear at the moment, yeah, by his attention being drawn to something else. So there you go. Don't try to use a philosophy to dig a hole, yeah? Get a shovel. Yeah, the philosophy ain't gonna work. It's not. The philosophy is relief before the shit hits the fan. After the shit hits the fan, you need skillful means. The philosophy isn't gonna work. I mean, there's nothing like doing a forensic unit on old shit. It's not gonna lead to any freedom. Just, you'll get used to it. When you get out of that seeming fear, you'll realize that the getting out of that fear is always there, even when you're seemingly in the fear. Because the out of the fear is before going in or out of the fear. The real out is before in or out of the fear. You're not going to arrive there without noticing it. You can't read about it. You can't say, I'm before the fear. It doesn't work. That just goes in there and it seeps in, and then you'll have your own experience of the understanding that, all right, I did service and recovery. It brought me out of the ass of self. Then I got something when I was out of the ass of self that I can't get when I'm up the ass of self. I get a real view of the ass and my head seemingly up the ass of self. I never get that view when I'm up the ass of self. So when you're out of it, there's no need to have skillful means, yeah? When you realize after getting in and out of it, that there's an out before the in and out, you're gonna travel lighter through it, yeah? You won't have to get out of the fear. The fear will be lingering in one corner of the Zoom, yeah? And it may be raining there, but you're not wet, yeah? And there's a weatherman going, it's a terrible storm. There's a tsunami. That's what they had here, tsunami. My friend's worried that it's gonna hit Livermore. Livermore is inland. There's a tsunami. Jesus Christ. Paul, I'm calling you up, there's a tsunami. I'm in Nevada. It's like a guy once at a meeting asked me, are you afraid of sharks? And I said, not right now, because I was on land. You know what I mean? I'm on land, why would I be afraid of sharks? Right now, yeah? So this is the simplicity of it. So yes, if there's an identification as the one who has the fear, allow that one, or to pick up a tool to help itself get out of it. Yeah. But then that becomes another form of slavery. Yeah. You get enslaved to the skillful means. So you want to, a greatest thing about a tool is when you don't need to use it. So you have skillful means, and it's joy upon joy. I'm not called upon to use them much. Yeah. So
cool. Yeah. So thank you. Yeah. So I guess I've been
this non-duality isn't a tool. It's a fact. It's not a tool in the content of living. Like, all right, there's a bolt and here's a nut and this and that. It's not like that. It's contextual. It's an understanding that negates the misunderstandings. And then you start living from a different place than a place. Yeah. And that really is the remedy of a lot of other stuff. It's the best remedy because you're not looking to correct shit anymore. You're not. You're giving shit the moment, the time it has, but you're not becoming that shit. You're just, you're the seeing of it. And so the demand to be on call like a fireman, you're off, It's sort of like a cop in where I live in Mill Valley. They're arresting 14-year-olds. There's no giant crime syndicate. They're not shooting it out at Whole Foods, with gangsters. I mean, they don't do shit, really. Yeah. So, they have the uniform, but they probably never use their gun to begin with. You know what I mean? Got the organic leather holster. Organic cotton uniform. Yeah, so yes. I hope that helped.
Yeah, thank you. Yeah, I'll ask you again the next time.
I'll tell you something. As an action figure, I needed a lot of help. I did. My head just attracted a lot of stuff. Like you always share, I shared this morning at a recovery meeting. The first thing I realized when I started drinking is I have magnetic appeal to people in uniform. And it was really like that. It was like a dog whistle went out. And all the people I least wanted to see, I got to see a lot. It was incredible. And I realized, we're all lighthouses, but this lighthouse is putting some juice out there. I better get a better lighthouse manager down the road. It's not working out. So, yeah. So I have a sense of non-duality, and I also have an artistic sense of being under the sway of a higher power. It's awesome. So yes, it's a feeling I have, and it's beautiful. Yeah, it's like artistic, not autistic, artistic. This is not like flaw, F-L-A-W, F-L-O-O-R. They're making fun of my accent. So yeah.
Yeah, okay, thank you. Yeah. I guess I think in a dualistic way, if I'm doing something, I mean, my skillful means is often to watch Netflix. And I think, well, this isn't helping because I'm not dealing with my problems. And then if I'm dealing with my problems, I'm in them. And they're my two solutions are those two.
Well, here's another one. You're outmatched, bro.
Yeah.
There's another one. You're outmatched. You're damned if you do and you're damned if you don't. Yeah. But you can always throw a question in there. Who is it that feels compelled to manage or deal with the problems? That's the bigger problem. Yeah. I'm telling you, there's a knot that begets a lot of knots. If you get lost in unknotting a lot of the knots, that knot just goes on knotting. So if you could just go back to that, it's truly the relief valve. It is. It's the relief valve. The relief valve is you may not be the doer. Yeah. That's where the relief really lies. You cannot believe how much weight is produced by this assumption that we are the doer, that my whole life is based on volition. and I've made terrible decisions, and now I have to bear the brunt of all those decisions. And I willingly allow you to dump 100 pounds of weight on my back, yeah, because of this stubborn addiction of the mental state to being the doer, and this believing that it had a choice. In this case of selfing, it's mechanical. There's no volition involved in selfing. There is not a volition. Yeah. You did not choose it. You're not doing it. It's just a mental activity, fires up itself, by itself, presents a story. If the audience buys it, you get sucked into the movie, seemingly. Yeah, you don't factually, but seemingly you get sucked in, and then you can't see the screen, and the movie on it is basically the same. You think, all right, I'm in the movie and I want to get to the screen. That's dualism. That's the heart of it. There is no membrane between what you are and what you're appearing to be. There's no membrane. It's all contextual. So could you imagine if all the importance the cloud has been given, that it could ruin the sky, it could block the sunlight from it, if all those fell off, maybe it would be easier to appear as a cloud. Yeah, if you saw you didn't have all this meaning going on. And that's the traveling lighter. That's the basis of traveling lighter. Instead of seeing yourself as the cloud and the cloud only, you see yourself as the sky, and then you see this cloud from the sky. Yeah. Instead of just seeing everything from the cloud, you see the cloud from the sky, and the sky brings a lot more lightness to the cloud than the cloud can ever achieve. The cloud is not going to achieve becoming light. It's just going to reinforce the cloud, obviously. From the sky's view, there's an acceptance of the cloud. That's my experience. I could not find acceptance without questioning the sense of doership. There's no way. You know, because then there would be some things that could be forgiven, but other things couldn't be forgiven. There would be degrees in doership, which is the Course in Miracles talks about. There's no degrees in illusion, but there is definitely, in our experience and watching myself and others as action figures, there's definitely a belief in degrees in doership. There's a lot of shit I can forgive myself, but I can't forgive myself for that. Not giving money to my mother when she needed it, yeah? So you know what I mean? So it's all transactional, but all rooted in that you're the doer, that you had volition. The story will not allow the possibility that you were taken over. Even in the deep experience of addiction, the stubbornness of the programming of being the doer will not give you the freedom from the shame and guilt of the past. You'll still be harvesting, there'll be a harvesting of guilt and shame about shit that was done 34 years ago when you were under the influence. And you've made amends, you've done everything. It's the doership, the volition that gives so much life to dead fucking things. The feeling of being the doer now is why you feel like you were the doer then. If you're not feeling like you're the doer now, or there's freedom for what was done then, there's a freedom for it, but not as the doer. By seeing you're not the doer, you get freed from the past, yeah, of the doership. I've made the amends. I faced up to the people I needed to face up, all like that. Yeah, I did what our way of life put out there. But the fact is, if I'm taking to myself to be a doer now, when there's going into what's not happening, I'm taking myself to be a doer then. So I'm picking up all that old shit and bringing it here. And then all the future stuff I think is going to be just like the old is being brought here. Yeah? And then I'm fucking traveling heavy and I'm looking for escape. Yeah? I'm not going to just get a little small latte. It's going to be a double grande latte. 5 shots of espresso. Let me feel different because I'm feeling this lurking cloud of, whatever. See, for you to live the past weather, you've got to be taking yourself to be the contemporary weather. Yeah? Yeah. If you're sensing yourself to be a doer now, there's the hard-earned relief from the past is only conditional. There's a lot of trapdoors and you can fall through it like that. Yeah, it's nowhere to rest. You're not going to enjoy peace there. Yeah, you have to get to the root, the idea of being the doer, but the volition. Yeah, because a lot of people do not want to look at what is obvious because they feel like they were the doer of it and they feel like they should have done something else. So who wants to have that notice every day? Yeah. So how are you going to do a fearless and thorough inventory if you take if that which is taking it is the one that has a lot of bias of not seeing a lot of shit? Yeah. So yeah, just get to the fundamental. Take seeing, hearing, feeling, tasting, touching, and then just entertain that the seeing seems to be here with no thought or effort. It doesn't seem to take any time. And then see if the seer has those same qualities. Yeah. And see if the seer is essential to the seeing, or is it the seeing that's essential to the seer? Would there be a seer without seeing? No. Is there a seeing without seer? Yes. Where are we on? Where are we? Usually at the seer point. The seer seems totally essential, and the seeing is fucking what the fuck, you know? I mean, you don't have to go through advanced diagnoses. Just take that example. Take that example. All right. In recovery, we talk about self is what has defeated us. And it says, why are you in so much fear today? Isn't it because self-reliance has failed you? All right. So self-reliance, right, is relying or being dependent on that which has failed you. Now, I don't give a shit what you put on after you put that on. That's going to bleed through all your little outfits because that's the more dominant there. Yeah. You're relying on that which fails you. But I want to get to next Wednesday. That's what I'm concerned with. This is, remember we used to I wanted to be a psychiatrist specializing in what's not happening. You'd have the quickest freaking therapy sessions. The people would start bitching about next week and you go, that's not happening. See you again, Mrs. Smith. I'd have about 80 clients in one day. But no, come with me into what's not happening. Maybe we can solve this together. No fucking way. You're not getting me to dive in there. Oh, there's everyone else back in there. Yes. All right. Well,
Thanks, Paul.
you're welcome. I can't see, like, I'm looking for a hand.
Yeah, I think this shows
Up
up.
there. Oh, it's gone.
Touch the screen and.
What's this guy doing there? He's filling out a lotto ticket. You're not gonna win. Oh, it's C. It's C. All right. Do we have we don't have any more questions?
See if we can get the box back.
Oh, wait a minute. Oh, this?
No. Participants.
Participants. All right.
And then you would see a hand there. If anybody
We don't have any hands. Well, listen.
There's C. He's gonna be pissed.
Where's she?
No, Chris.
Oh, Chris.
Gets pissed.
Oh, Chris. Sorry. We were trying to wait for you. Here's another one.
Yeah, tell him that I told you.
Mike forgot to tell me. I'm sorry. Mike forgot to tell me. No, we're running the meeting outside in a public park. I forgot the keys to the room, so we're not. So we apologize. But thank God it's recorded. And yeah. But definitely Mike didn't tell me. But that was, it's not funny actually. I tried to remember at one, but then an eternity came and went. Really? By the time 1:30 arrived, I was completely different. I swear. I still looked at it. I said, I'm going to remember 1:30.
Okay.
Freaking gone
Within
completely.
seconds.
As if it never existed.
Yeah.
Completely. So could you blame someone for forgetting when they have absolutely no memory of it whatsoever? I don't see.
Yes, it was just.
Chris, we're here. We're sorry, but actually we're going to extend the talk. We've been outside and yeah. I'm not used to admitting people. What? Participants.
That way you can.
All right, well, anyone else? Or I'll just go on then because
hand.
some people are new.
Natty.
Oh, Natty. Natty, come on.
Hey everybody. Hey there, Paul. Yeah, what you just said begs a question for me, the forgetting and then re-remembering. Like, I was thinking about how I had interesting dreams last night, and upon awakening, they had a lingering effect, but I have a quick answer to them not being real. But what about the forgetting and re-remembering, the tool of re-remembering all the dream of self that arises upon awakening?
Yeah.
Can you talk about that?
Well, I think the dreams of self are forgettable. So I think that's good, really. But what is that? That which is always here has a lingering effect. You pick it, it leaves an intimation sooner or later, where you're so used to watching the road and the cars on the highway, and then it lends itself to recognizing you haven't moved. Yeah, sooner or later, the intentions is all the cars, but then every once in a while, one of the dogs of attention goes back. Hey, wait a minute. I haven't gone anywhere. All these cars, yeah. Everything's always moving, but in a way, yeah. So, I find great relief from forgetting the dream of self. And the beautiful thing, what you are doesn't need to be remembered. It only needs to be remembered if you're what you're not, and you're not. Yeah. So in a way, it doesn't need to be remembered. Yeah, yeah. Do you really need remembering? When you do remember it, it's always been here. That's what you go, wait a minute. I just remembered it's always here. Now, with the dreams of self, you can't say that. It likes to imply when you have the dream of self, you're always here, but you're not always here. Yeah. You're out to lunch 1/3 of the day when you sleep. You know what I mean? You're pretty much out to lunch most of the time. So, as the action for you. Yeah? I think satsang fills a really easy, nice role. I'm just doing it, just like when I share in AA, I share how it worked for me, what happened, and that's what I'm doing here. I did not set off on an incredible self-improvement plan after I heard satsang of non-duality. I didn't. When I heard this message, pretty much the Urban Renewal Project got canceled. Yeah, and I felt like I was sufficiently working enough that was more than enough. Yes, like the Toyota's dream of being a Rolls Royce isn't going to happen. So just find satisfaction and contentment in getting from here to there and stuff, and I have that. Yeah, so that's why we have satsang. It is, I would say, in one level, because this is what worked with me. I went to talks, and the more I heard, the less talks I needed to go to. Yeah. And it's a really bad, non-duality books are not a good career choice, because The ones who really got the book are never going to pick it up again, usually, in a sense. So, I mean, it's, yeah, it's not like edition number 12. Yeah. So, I'm not a believer in having to remember what we are. That would imply, once again, that you're what you're not. And I believe there's a lot of implying what you're not. I don't believe you are that, yes? I believe it implies itself all the time, but I do not believe it's implying proves it. I was just listening to a Radiohead, yeah, I like that band. One of their old songs, and it says, just because you feel it doesn't make it real. Yeah, he just keeps, just because you can't do it, but he does, just because you're feeling it doesn't make it real. What? Yeah, exactly. I felt terrible yesterday. Does that mean I can't remember that? I'm making that up, but all right, I felt terrible yesterday. Yeah. Am I that which felt terrible yesterday? No, I'm not. I felt terrible 20 years ago. It's the same one. No. Yes? It's like chum in the ocean attracting fish. Yeah. We rise up, we take the bait, the mind, and then we feel like a fish. And then not only that, we feel like a historical fish. It's all a thing. So the head's constantly implying you're something, and every once in a while, there's a running with that. Yeah, so you run that you're something, and then there's usually a collapse or something occurs, and then you're left, and it's as if I huffed and puffed, but I didn't actually even go anywhere, really, after a while. And so after a while, you see nothing actually happens, literally, from what you are. How do you notice that? Because thousands of times you were in what you are. The head said you weren't. It ran here, ran there, ran there. You've seen it thousands of times, and none of this has ever been moved. Yeah? All the proclamations, I vow it's true, whatever, yeah? And feel this, that's an effect. That has to be true. But in fact, nothing moved what I am, ever. Yeah? How many examples do you need? Maybe one, maybe 800, maybe 8,000. Well, satsang's available, yeah, to allow us to keep having the basis be obviously the basis, so you can see what you're not, yeah. And in seeing what you're not reinforces what you are. That's the beauty of it, yeah. So when a resentment happens, there's great value in it because it's not yours. So the resentment played a great role in concreting the idea of what you are, yeah, and having it become more stationary on the surface of all this shit, yeah, yeah. In other words, there's that buoy, but it's rooted in here, yeah. So the buoy's bouncing around, but in fact you're not, yes. So, but the buoy looks like, yes, it does, but follow the buoy down. You're not of the buoy. You're down here, yeah. So it's not denying shit's affecting Paul as the action figure. It's not a slick way of denying shit. There's a telling of the truth. Yeah, all this happens, and it doesn't mean what it implies it means. Yeah, all this shit that happens doesn't validate the implying that it's you that it's happening to. It doesn't. I don't care if you pile more shit on, it's not going to change that fucking principle. It's not you. Yeah. When do you hit critical mass? I don't know, but you'll feel it, you'll sense it. You will sense being convinced. It has a vibration that's not of coming and going. Something has come to an end. Yeah, and maybe there's a new beginning. But they're not the same in a sense. There's a being convinced, and then that's that. Yeah. Some people get it with the experience, I'm never going to ask another question. That's not saying, and they don't. They just felt something once, and they go, well, that's it. Because they saw the futility, what the person was explaining. And then it landed, done, and then maybe they never ask another, they ask like, you know, pass the salt and shit, but they're not asking, oh, tell me, yeah? So that's an example of being convinced. You felt something that wasn't completely so for a long period of time yet, but you knew it. You knew, yeah? Like an unspoken yes that doesn't have to be repeated. It's an unspoken yes now. It was spoken and it became an unspoken yes. You heard satsang and that spoken word became an unspoken word. That unspoken word is what reverberates. Yeah. Now, if you want to have that sense of the reverberation, you may say that sentence again, like you can't use the Buddha to seek the Buddha, or whatever can be perceived can't be perceiving. Yeah. And it may align with that, and it feels good. Spoken and unspoken lined up, but you don't need the spoken to trigger the unspoken. The unspoken is carried by the ringing the bell again, but it's not the bell that rang it. Yeah. Yeah, this happens. Over the years of satsang, I've heard things that are still alive in me, still alive to this day. I feel an avalanche of stuff when I say the words because they're not bringing me the unspoken, they're an echo of the unspoken yes. Yeah. So there you go. Any word? Let's go. Let's go on that note.
Open the participants box again.
Open the
Is there anybody that
participants.
wanted to come in? No hands.
Hey, listen, I want to thank everyone for putting up with us. Next week, we'll be in a different location. We've got the use of a garage. The people will be away. They have Wi-Fi. There may be some chairs for some of the people here. Whatever. At least there's no cocaine up there. There's fucking demons from the past. though. Don't look up those tunnels. You may see palm trees, fucking terrible things up there. All right, well, listen, I'm going to say goodbye today. Again, I want to just thank you for putting up with us. Tommy, Tariq, Tyler, nice to see you, Tyler. Kerry.
Paul, thank you so much. I
You're
can't get
welcome.
enough. I love it. Thank you. That's all I got. Thank you.
Great. That's good, bro. Well, you're going to get some more when I come over there, maybe.
I can't wait.
Yeah.
I can't wait for that either.
Yeah. Well, you better have a really good espresso maker and some.
Oh man, I could show it to you right now, but I really don't got one. I don't got one yet.
Good.
I got one yet.
Found those beans.
I know where to go. I got a few stores to go to or somewhere. Yeah.
Oh,
get it.
good.
We'll hook you up.
Fantastic. We got William L. William L. He's shown up a couple weeks. He came through Awakening Together. Yes. We got David S. from Milton. David, nice to see you, bro.
Thanks, Paul. Yeah, you too. Thank you.
You're welcome. We got Judith. She's
Thank
still
you,
in the
Paul.
tent, Judith.
I know, I'm still in the tent.
Just to make Amelia feel better, get a virtual reality of like a cottage or something.
Oh, I should do that.
Yeah, please.
Oh,
with
not
a
a problem.
kitchen,
It's all
shower.
going to be ready by the time you get here.
Don't show the
Yes.
tent anymore. All right.
I'll get virtual reality. Thank you so much, Paul. The talk
right.
was just amazing, just beautiful. I'm glad that you showed up.
Oh, good. Yeah.
So
Thank you.
great. Thank you.
Glenda
Have a good-
O'Driscoll. Hey, nice to see you, Glenda. We've been on this road together, eh? Nice. Yes, very good. We got let's see, Mike C. Nice to see you, Mike. Walter. Oh, as always, Walter. Mary G. Catherine. Oh, by the way, Amelia is probably watching this. I got to announce that in September this coming year, we're gonna try to have a treat in Italy, in down on the Adriatic side, near the heel of Italy. I forgot the name of the province. But Amelia's working on it, and if enough people show interest and are willing to do it, we're gonna have it be like a 5-day, 6-day thing. There'll be trips every day to different places. Yeah, and then we'll have 2 talks a day. Yeah, so if you're interested, I think there's something on the website. You can get in touch with Amelia and she'll give you the details, and hopefully we can pull it off. Yeah, all right. Let's back to goodbye. We got Mary G. Nice to see you, Mary G. Walter again. Catherine from the iPad. Thank you, Catherine. We got Don. Nice to see you, Don, over there. Roman, as always. Tariq, thank you for your support, everyone. It allows my lavish lifestyle to continue. We got Z. Nice to see you, Z.
Hey, glad to meet you.
Maddie, thank you so much for asking me to share today, early on. Very nice. I'll see you. I'll talk to you. Yeah.
Okay.
We got Nanette. Oh, there she is. Nanette, she's the live wire of ZenBitchSlap. Nice to see you, Nanette. Yeah. We got David B. Yeah. Always a pleasure. Oh, I saw something. Oh, yes. The dog's at home and I'm here, thank God. Jim, nice to see you return for a little while. I know you never left, yes. Oh yeah, and having never left. Yeah, that's good. I can't hear you, but yeah.
I'm a bit disappointed with the book.
Oh, are you?
It says the incomplete works.
Yes.
No, I'm joking.
They're not done yet.
Yeah.
It's the incomplete works of ZenBitchSlap.com. Hey, Chris. Gee, nice to see you, Chris. Yeah. I got caught up in the moment. You have to forgive it. I can't. I lose all sense. I lose all sense of whatever. I do. We got, there's Johannes. He's down, he's horizontal today. That's good. Nice to see him. Nice and comfortable. Yeah. We got Ben C. Yes, he's resting on the Nobel laureate of ZenBitchSlap.
Retired.
Kaylin from Romania. Yes, nice to see you, Kaylin.
Hello, boy.
Hi.
Thank you.
Hey, there's your lovely daughter. I hear her. Yes.
Yeah, she's there.
And we have. Am I saying your word, Shana? I think I'm not. Sana. 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 Nice to meet you, Sana.
That means summer. Yeah. Thank you. That
Summer.
was beautiful.
All right. We got, let's see, who's this? Boaz. Boaz? Nice to see you, Boaz. Oh, we got Elaine and Carl. Nice to see them again. All's well. See you guys. Artur. I don't know who that is there. We've got Sue K. We've got Steve in Germany. He's got trouble with the video. Deborah. Anu. I think Anu is still in India. Nice to see you, Anu, or not see you. Artur, Jim. Hey, thanks, everyone. We'll see you soon. Yeah? Yeah.
Oh, man.
Thank you, Paul.
See you guys. Bye-bye.
Bye, Paul. Thank you.